This episode of Let's Hang Out was recorded very last minute due to a technical error, which you'll learn about in this episode. I wanted to take a moment to apologize for any subpar audio you experienced during this episode, as editing time was reduced to much shorter than normal. With that in mind, I hope you enjoy the episode, and let's hang out. Recorded for you from a desk somewhere in the Pacific Northwest. Let's hang out. Oh my goodness, where to start with things today? Welcome back, guys. It's another Wednesday. Not the episode that I originally had planned to post today, so I'll explain that in a moment. But as always, thanks you guys for joining. I appreciate you. I hope everybody's been doing well. Hope everyone's doing great. A lot of stuff coming up. A lot of activities going on, a lot of things I'm working on and trying to fix. And I'll explain that here in just a moment, as well as why I'm saying this episode's not the one that I originally had planned for you guys. But yeah, it's been a week. it's actually been a very hectic 2 weeks since the last bit of work that I did on any of these episodes. Very chaotic 2 weeks from the last episode that you guys got to hear. This is the first time I'm recording an episode in such a short time span that I've almost kind of lost track of where I am with things. So let me go through it with you guys, get things lined up real quick. That way my head's in the right space again, because as I'm sitting here thinking about it, I'm getting myself mixed up in my timeline. So I'd rather go through it with you guys again. And then we can talk about things. So normally, I've gotten myself into the habit of being at least 2 episodes ahead. You know, I had episode 10, 11, I'd recorded 12 with some guests. I have episode 14 recorded with a guest. I was ahead of the game. But what you guys don't know is that behind the scenes, I was running into an issue with storage capacity. I keep all my episodes, I recorded them onto what I thought was my hard drive. So this is my first error, and I'll explain. So I thought I was saving all of the episodes that I record onto my hard drive like I normally would. I was moving all of the finished product to a thumb drive, flash drive, whatever you want to call it. I've been told it's a different name now. So I move all the finished audio to a flash drive. And that flash drive is also where I store all of the graphic work that I do for the podcast. So that's the core files for editing, that's the finished graphic editing, and then the finished audio. So the core audio file that I work on, the piece that I'm recording now that I will go and fine tune and clean up, gets recorded, again, what I thought was to the hard drive. Little did I know that all of these have been getting recorded to 2 locations for some weird reason. So it was recording to the hard drive in the folder I had it, and then it was putting the actual file, the audio file, the Audacity file that I use on my jump drive. So I have 2 files. I went back to look at all the details, figure out what was going on, got it all narrowed down, got it all fixed, checked all the files, we were good to go. Everything was great. It was supposed to go to the hard drive. So I have an 8 terabyte hard drive that's been sitting off to the side now for a little bit. It was kind of there. Like, I didn't really have a use for it yet. It was something that was gifted to me from my father-in-law because he no longer needed it. He was having issues getting it to connect to his PlayStation 5, so I was going to try it on the computer since it was stationary. It wasn't going to move. There wasn't going to be any issues. Should have worked out great. Well, I ran into the memory situation on the jump drive. Ran out of space, and I don't have a bigger drive available right at the moment because I have others backing up photos and stuff, and at the time when I was doing this, I had so much going on, I was not thinking of moving stuff off of jump drives to make more space, to open up the larger drive, etc. So I did what I thought was a smart idea. Again, plugging in this hard drive, putting it stationary, knowing that it was having some issues connecting, not knowing the extent of the issues, because I didn't think to ask my father-in-law what he was having troubles with, and went about my day. Went and recorded. We've recorded 7 episodes, 7 episodes on it. 3 of those. 3 of those have already been edited and posted. Everything up through episode 10 that you guys just heard. And there was no problems. It was working great. So again, there's 3 more episodes that were on there that I had recorded. They were ready to be worked on. audio files were there and existed, and I just needed to, do the fine polish, get everything together, and then post them. So we've had a little bit of chaos the last 2 weeks, had some stuff going on with the family being sick, and just other events going on, the kids with sleepovers and parties. It was busy. It kind of came out of nowhere. Some of the stuff we knew was coming and we forgot about. Other stuff, like the illnesses, just kind of came out of the blue. So we had to work with that. But in that 2 weeks, I tried to put in a little bit of time to do some work on the episodes. And I started running into an issue where I couldn't get the files to load. So when you normally click something, when you click a file, and you open it up in whatever program, it reads the file, it opens it up completely, and then you have access to work on it. It's no different with working on these audio files. It'll read the file, it'll open the app, open the program, load it up, and then I have full editing time. But I was having difficulties opening any of the files. I couldn't open any audio track. Nothing wanted to pop up, nothing wanted to populate the information, and it would shut down my program. So I thought it was a little weird, so I did a few tests. I had some files that I had moved over to my Dropbox early episodes. So I tried those, and those fired up just fine. They were great. So I moved those to another jump drive, loaded them up, fired up just fine. Took one of the episodes that I knew that we had finished, already had it uploaded, and tried to move it from that hard drive, that 8 terabyte drive, to another location to see if it would work, and I couldn't move it. It's not that I didn't have access to the drive, it simply would not move. It continued to fail, and saying that the disk could not be read. So, so I'm having kind of a borderline mental breakdown at this point, because I'm stressing out. This is stuff that I've worked on. I've had people that were here to join and to guest in, and took time out of their day, out of their lives to be here. And it's my good friends, so I don't want to disappoint them and not have something edited. So now I'm getting desperate. I'm trying to find every solution I can find to fix this. And the solution I came up with was to order a new drive. Not a big deal. It's a benefit to everything I'm doing, to the podcast, to my streaming, to my digital work, all of it. So it's not a wasted investment. Plus I have an 8 terabyte drive that's completely useless to me now, so I really don't need it. So I just went with a simple 2 terabyte, just solid state drive. Really easy. Super simple, plug and play, ready to go. Delivery said 3 days. Awesome, I can do 3 days. That's plenty of time to edit, because it would have arrived right after episode 10 that weekend. So I sat around, watched the tracking. Everything was good. Shows that it's supposed to be here. Never got marked for being out for delivery. Didn't think anything of it. It happens. So I do some more digging, and I reach out, and I'm told that it's delayed. It never actually shipped. So I'm looking at the tracking, and sure enough, it never shipped. It was just the label was processed, and they were waiting, and they were continually updating, and they were waiting for the item. So I'm waiting now at this point, and I get a notification. It'll be there in a week. Okay. So I had already waited 2 or 3 days, because again, it was the weekend. So Monday, I get the information saying that it'll be a week. So the following Monday, it should be here, which would have been last Monday. And it doesn't show up. So again, at this point, I'm freaking out. I'm a little stressed out at this point. So I checked the delivery information, checked the notifications, and I'd already been checking it, every other day. And the night prior was my last check, and it's like everything was still good. It should be marked. So I go to open it up. Still not out for delivery. So I call again. And I'm told, yes, it's there. They're waiting for it to get picked up. UPS hasn't picked it up. There was an issue with pickups for orders, so all the orders are delayed another 2 days. That's fine. I'll stress a little bit. I'll stress for 2 days. So I finally get the notification. It's shipped. It's on its way. And it gets to me Thursday afternoon, evening, somewhere in there. So I can't do much with it. Family time and a lot of stuff going on. So Friday. Or no, excuse me. It was Friday. It got to me Friday. So I get it, open it, set it up, check it, make sure it's good. I can't do anything because I have to move the files over. So I did a test on the 8 terabyte, everything was good, things were moving, they just moved very slowly. I got it to a spot, moved it and situated the cord, and everything was good. It was moving data, it was moving files across. So I start the first move, the first episode gets transferred over, what was supposed to be episode 12 with Zerelius and Migtrain is now effectively getting pushed back to episode 13 because of all this. So I get that moved over, and I get the files, and I'm happy, because that was a big file. That was a lot of information that was there. That was 3 audio tracks and video that I may or may not use. But I was stressing out because that was the folder. That was the big one, okay? So that one's over. I'm thinking, cool, this is great. Everything's working. Let's move to the next one. So I go to move the next big file because I want to make sure that it's there, and it's the second recording that I had with James where we spent 2 hours recording. It was a great episode, and it's moving across and it fails. Doesn't have any issues, it just says that it was unable to transfer the file. So I try again, and this time it's going really slow, really slow, and then eventually it transfers over. So that's 2 audio tracks, that's his and mine, and then the video file that I recorded. So I go to move the last track, the final track, which is supposed to be just a filler episode between the two, which I've effectively bumped up to episode 12. So it'll be the next one you guys get. And that one transferred over just fine. Single track audio, no video. That was super quick and great. So then I have one big file left. And it's the edits that I had already done to the episode with James and I. Because it was just the first bit I transferred over was just the core audio files. So the last thing I needed to move was the large Audacity file with everything on it. And that's where the problems came in. So I go to move it, and it starts to transfer, and it fails 2 minutes in. It says it can't do it, can't read the file. So I attempt to open the file and see if I can get Audacity to load, and nothing happens. Doesn't load, fails immediately. So I scan the file. File's fine. No corruption, no damage, no nothing like that. No issues. Go to transfer it again. Click it, drag it, drop it. Nothing. So I go to drag and drop it again. Now it says the drive is not available. The drive cannot be found. But it's still listed on my available items. It's still listed as my available drives that I can access. So I close the window, open the window back up, and it's still there. So I go to click it to open it and move the file again, and it says it can't read the drive. So I'm like, all right, great. This is not what I need. So I give it one more try, and again it fails. So at this point, I'm going to take the loss. I'm going to understand that I don't have the core file, but I still have the core. I don't have the editing file, but I have the core files. So I have the core audio. I can rework with that. That's fine. So I clear the drive. Everything's good. Takes forever to clear. Get it done. Move it. Pop the new drive as the main. Set everything up. Get Audacity ready to go. Go to drag the files over to check them. And James's file is 75% there. There's a chunk missing of his audio. It looks like it's in a spot that I can skip over because there's an intermission we have where we're talking for a little bit between things. And I go to check it, and it's kind of right there at the tail end, like I can finagle it and make it work. So I go to drag my file over, and mine pops up instantly. Like there was no buffering, no reading, no nothing. It just boop, done. So then I open it, and I'm looking at it, and I have 5 minutes of audio at the beginning, and then it's dead air until the last 45 seconds or so of the track, which is me kind of doing notes after I'm done talking to James, after we've ended our conference call. So an entire track is just gone. Literally just the main meat of my audio track is gone. So I'm hoping that it's there and it's available, so I'm looking around for it, and I can't find it anywhere. I looked. I have no backups anywhere, so the entire episode is effectively just gone because it's a one-sided audio. It's supposed to be 2 people. Can't work. It doesn't work. So I go to grab the filler episode. The filler episode is fine. That's great. The Audacity file I started doesn't work. Doesn't read. Didn't transfer properly. So then I go and check the other big file with Migtrain and Zerelius. And at this point, I'm just fingers crossed, hoping for the best, hoping that everything is there. And I can't get the core files to open. I scan them and everything's fine. Scanning them shows no issues. But I can't get them to open on anything. So I go and I look and I pull up the information, because I always have these in little, just the smaller detail view. And I have my screen really minimized because of the workspace I have on here. So all I see is title of the track and like the date modified, and that's it. The other 2 columns are off screen. Not a big deal. All my audio tracks, they all look like the same file. So I'm curious, and I pop it open, I'm looking at the details, and instead of transferring over the edited MP3 file that I had gone through and condensed down and taken out all like the fillers and the ums, ahs, and noise and stuff. It sent over the core AAC file, which I cannot work with until I render it into an MP3. So I have another hurdle to get over. I've got to convert that from AAC to MP3 or to a WAV, which just did not work. For some reason, WAV has a hard time going from AAC to WAV and then into my program. I don't know. I don't understand why. I've tried to figure it out, and all the technical back end things are in place where they should be for that to work. It just does not. So we go from AAC to MP3. So I go to check the Audacity file for that episode again that I had started editing, and I was probably a good third of the way through it. And it was a chunk of work because it's 3 audio tracks. It's more than I've worked on at the same time simultaneously. And there was a weird sync thing that happened with our audio on that one. One of them, I think it's Mig his track is off by like 2 seconds. And it keeps doing that whenever he stops talking. So we've got these chunks where he stops talking and he's listening and you know, kind of just hearing the conversation between Z and I. And his track will start falling behind. So I had edited his file probably 2/3 of the way through so I could work with the front half of things. But the Audacity file wouldn't load. Could not get it to load. Scanned it, and it was a corrupted file. Like, just not there. So I'm missing 2/3 of the work that I need to do for these big episodes. So effectively, I'm out 2 episodes at this point. Almost a third. The third one was saved. And I'm just, you know, just walking through the day, just trying not to stress. And I figured, you know, this is another one of those times where I come in here and just let you guys know the show's got to go on. The show has to go on. It was another one of those technical difficulty kind of weeks. 2 weeks, I guess, technically. I want to be honest with you guys when I'm doing these things. That's the entire point of this, is to be honest and let you guys know what's going on, to feel like we're hanging out and talking. And I know this one was a lot of me talking, but you guys, it sucks, but we can work through it. It's not, I don't want to say it's not catastrophic, because internally I'm like, ah! You know, but it's not the end of the world. I messaged James and told him about our episode, because ours is effectively done. Like, there's no way to fix that one. And he was completely cool, collected about it. Obviously agrees that it sucks big time that it happened. But, you know, he was in the same headspace, too, of like, well, we can just record it. It's fun, and the next one will be even better. There's a lot of positive energy with that, which is great, and I needed that right in that moment. The episode with Z and Mig, I have to give that a little bit of work and see if we're going to be able to salvage that. I hope so. I think it's all there. It looks like it's all there. Every spot that I've jumped to in the tracks shows that it's there. I just have a lot of re-editing to do now. So we'll see where that ends up. But like I said, the change in episodes, change in things going on. You guys will see some of it. You'll see some of it very soon. So today's episode was, again, unplanned. Haven't done it in a while. Haven't done one like this where it's immediately following another episode. So if it sounds a little unpolished on Wednesday, when you guys get this, when you're listening to this, I apologize. It's just, again, rolling with the punches, trying to fix this as quick as I can and get myself back on track. I've got vacation coming up, so I'm going to have an entire week where I can't do anything. So I want to get back ahead of the game and try to get myself into a better spot. If I can get this done, the next episode fully edited, polished, and ready, and into the lineup ready to go, that alleviates a little stress. So hopefully by the time you guys hear the Dad Pod episode and we get through that, we'll be back on track. We'll be ahead of the game. We'll have other episodes going. But man, I appreciate you guys. I know there's not many of you that are regular, and I get that. It's a very, very niche podcast for a lot of things. It's meant to be much more broad. It's meant to be very honest. So you guys that come in on a regular and listen to this, I appreciate you guys so much. You guys that are popping in and catching this for the first time and getting to go through my roller coaster of emotions dealing with this newest issue, which, again, has been remedied. Fixes are in. Fixes are working. Now it's just a matter of getting all this, the work order, the workflow back to where it was going great. But things are good. So you guys, new listeners, I appreciate you guys stopping by and giving us a chance. This pod is for you guys, 100%. You guys help drive it. You help keep it going. And I appreciate you guys stopping by for it each and every, well, I shouldn't say each and every week, each and every other week. We'll get back on this. We'll fix it. I promise you guys it'll be fixed here soon. But that's all I really wanted to pop in here and tell you guys and share that little bit of chaos and show you guys that even in the dark moments, we're going to get through it, you know? It sucks. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It absolutely sucks to have your work ripped out of your hands, even some of it that was already in progress, you know? But we're going to get through it. I will fix it up. It'll come back better than ever. The new episode that we record with James will be even better than the first one, and hopefully we can get another dad pod going. I really enjoyed this one that we recorded. Hopefully I can salvage it, and the next one will be, again, even better. That's just how it goes. They're not all going to be immediately the best version of themselves when they first come out, because then when we bring guests back, they get better and better. You know, that's how it is. That's how it always is. I'm not going into this thinking that every episode's the best thing out there. I know that each one's going to get better than the last. So hopefully a little bit of honesty helped you guys out for your day, and hopefully you can, you know, relate. Maybe not so dramatically. Hopefully you guys haven't run into something like that where your progress is lost. But if you have, and you're in that moment and you're like, oh man, there's so much I need to fix, you'll get there. You'll get there. Okay? Take a deep breath. Take a step back. It's okay. I promise you it's okay. You will get to where you're going with what you're doing. You will get there. Okay? We all have these moments, I promise. But that's it for me, guys. I will catch you on the next episode. The original episode 11. Next episode, episode 12. Yeah, plan accordingly. I'll catch you guys in 2 weeks. Have a fantastic time. Have a fantastic week. Don't forget to follow us on the socials. Everywhere you can find us. Twitter, YouTube, TikTok. At Letshangoutpod. Use hashtag Letshangoutpod to talk about episodes and talk about things you want to hear about. See ya!